A very good afternoon. Hope everyone is safe at their homes. So, I'm back with a new topic and welcome to Asha Mahesh Show. So, the new topic today is Nyquist plot. So, in stability analysis, we have seen root locus, then we have seen Bode plot, we have seen polar plot, we have seen how the problem's done. So, in my previous video, the videos are already there. So, if you haven't seen, I have given in the iCard which is mentioned above. So, today we will be seeing Nyquist plot. So, what is a Nyquist plot? It is also used to find the stability of the system. The first point is it is used to find the stability of the system, and it is a counter plot of the polar plot. This is a bit confusing, right? I'll explain. So what this means is your polar plot, for example, if your polar plot is given in this way, it starts from here, it crosses the real axis and comes and reaches the zero. Okay, if this is a polar plot, your Nyquist plot is a counter plot of a polar plot. So how this will be like? This is a counter plot, just a mirror image of this polar plot. So this is how it will come. So that is the meaning of this. It's a counter plot of a polar plot, or it is also called as a mirror image of a polar plot. However, when doing the problem, you'll get to know that. Next, polar plot should lie within unit circle, then the system is said to be stable. What is this unit circle? That unit circle is nothing but minus 1 plus j0. That is a point which is given here. Minus 1 plus j0. Okay, so if your polar plot lies in this circle, unit circle, okay, then the system is said to be stable. For the system to be stable, Nyquist plot of g of s into h of s must encircle the point. What is meant by encircling? Encircling nothing but just going round around this point, maybe near to the point or far to the point, that decides whether the system is stable or not. Okay, it just encircles the point. Okay, so this is a normal, this is drawn in normal graph only, it is not in semi-log graph. Semi-log graph is only for Bode plot. Normal graph is for polar plot as well as for Nyquist plot. Okay, but polar plot is a part of a Nyquist plot. Okay, so before learning Nyquist plot, you should definitely learn what is a polar plot, then only come for Nyquist plot. Okay, so this is already I told in the in my previous videos. Okay, this is the real axis, which is x-axis, and y is taken as an imaginary axis where your j terms will lie here. Okay, this is a j0. Okay, and this infinity minus infinity. Okay, and this where all your positive values will come 1, 2, 3, 4. Here minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. So minus 1 plus j0 is given to find the stability of a system. Okay, that is plotted at this point, minus 1 on the real axis plus j0 is this point. So your plot should encircle this point. Got it? So coming to this point, Nyquist stability criterion relates to the number of poles and zeros of 1 plus g of s h of s that lie on the RHS of s plane to the open loop frequency response g of j omega h of j omega. Okay, in our previous thing, whereas we have seen the root locus, we say that if your poles are on the left side of an s plane, okay, system is stable. Okay, but this is a bit complicated than this. Okay, it should lie on the right hand side of s plane. Okay, that you will be clearly understanding when we are doing the problem, right? And as I said, polar plot is done. Nyquist plot is obtained by drawing its mirror image. This is the one, okay, which I told you. It is the mirror. Nyquist plot is the mirror image of the polar plot. Okay, and here it says that omega, which is our angular frequency, varies from infinity to minus infinity, and the number of encirclements of minus 1 plus j0 is obtained. So it is nothing but your encirclement. So your plot should encircle like this here, and your omega should vary from 0 to infinity at this point, like this. This is 0 to infinity, and minus infinity to 0 also, minus infinity to 0. Okay, so your omega will be varying from infinity to minus infinity along the imaginary axis. Okay, so the next point, okay, in order to investigate the presence of poles of g of s and h of s on the right half s plane, a contour C is chosen. Okay, so contour, what is a contour? Contour is like an outline. The real meaning is an outline. It's like a border. Okay, so that is chosen such that it encloses the entire right half S plane. Such a contour C is called as Nyquist contour. That I'll be showing you what is a contour. Okay. So, okay, let me show you here itself. So, contour. So, this is a real axis, as I said. This is an imaginary axis. Okay, we have a 0 here. So, contour is nothing but it is an outline. So, for suppose if we chosen a contour like this is a contour. It will be enclosing the entire right half S plane. So this is a contour and this contour is taken as C, so that is called as a Nyquist contour. That I'll be showing in this next one. Okay, your Nyquist contour is direct clockwise. Okay, so we'll take everything in a clockwise direction. In polar plot also we have taken that. So if clockwise is 0, this becomes minus 90, this 1 minus 180, this minus 270. Okay, so your Nyquist contour is directed clockwise, and clockwise encirclements are taken as negative. This is what I said, 0, minus 90, minus 180, minus 270. All the encirclements, how many encirclements we have? If we have 3, if they rotates like 3 times, then it is taken as minus 3. Okay. Yes. So it is something interesting. Now it is coming real Nyquist plot. Okay, so in Nyquist plot, we will be taking normal graph like this and we will be dividing it into real axis and an imaginary axis. Okay, as we said, we have taken C as a contour. So your plot will be like, I'll tell you. Let me take another pen. Okay, so this obviously this infinity, this minus infinity, this infinity and minus infinity. Some say like just j infinity and minus j infinity as it is in the imaginary. Okay, so first one, the first one is C1. C1 is infinite segment along positive imaginary axis. So this was an imaginary axis. Positive imaginary axis is this, the above one. Okay, so C1 is a positive imaginary axis. So let us draw C1 here. So this is a positive imaginary axis, which is C1. Okay, we can't touch here because it is infinity. It goes on like this if we draw on. So I'm just stopping it there. And that is given as S equal to j omega, which we already know. So when we get a term transfer function of 1 plus st, we will be replacing that S with j omega. So that is S equal to j omega, and your omega vary from 0 to infinity. So it is 0. This is plus infinity. So it is varying from 0 to infinity. So C1 is a contour. Okay, C1 is the first outline we have taken. Then as we said, the contour should it should cover the entire right half S plane. So we have taken C2. C2 is an arc of infinite radius, so enclosing the entire right half of S plane. So let us draw exact radius. Is that arc, okay, C2, right, and it covers the entire right half S plane. So we will be minimizing this S plane to here only because it's infinity, so it goes on like this. So I'm minimizing it to here. So and here there is one term which has come is radius. So your radius, definitely it will be infinity. Okay, because if I extend my real part here, the arc will come much more bigger. So AR tends to infinity, and to find out C2, there is a like an equation, maybe S equal to limit R tends to infinity, as R is tending to infinity, R e power j theta. E is the exponential, j is the imaginary, and theta is the angle. Okay, and theta varies from, see now how theta is varying from, so this is an angle, right? So theta is varying from plus pi by 2. What is plus pi by 2? It is plus 90. As we told, if this is 0, if we are coming in a clockwise, this becomes minus 90, this is minus 180, and this minus 270. Your clockwise, Nyquist contour is always taken as clockwise and it is negative. If we are coming in an anti-clockwise, this becomes plus 90, this is like plus 90 is pi by 2, plus pi by 2, this is obviously plus 180, and this becomes minus 270. Okay, so this is plus pi by 2 and the opposite is minus pi by 2. Okay, obviously this is plus 270. Okay, so this is telling that theta is varying, your angle is varying from plus pi by 2, which is plus 90, it comes to minus pi by 2. So we have drawn the exact C2 here. Now what is remaining? Just we need to close this one. That is C3 is infinite line segment along negative imaginary axis. So it is C3 is just an opposite of C1. Okay. So if a C1 is like this, see C3 omega varies from minus infinity to 0. Your minus infinity is this, your 0 is this. So from here we will be drawing a line and connecting it to 0. This is C3. Okay. So this is a Nyquist contour. Okay, we have taken C and this is a Nyquist contour. Okay, but this is not always the same thing. We have some cases also. I'll be telling you. Okay, so this is a very much outline of this. And coming to this, the equation used is n equal to p minus z. Okay, every time p is the number of poles C of s and H of s that are on the right half of S plane, as we are like concentrating on the right half. Okay, that is p. How many poles we have on the right half of S plane, and n is the encirclements of the point minus 1 plus 0. As I told you, if this is your minus 1 plus a0, how many encirclements, how many times your Nyquist plot rotates, that is called as encirclement. Okay, that is n. Okay, and for stability, okay, if you have to say a closed loop transfer function is stable, then your z is equal to 0. Your z should be equal to 0. That really means that your n is equal to p. Okay, your encirclements should be equal to the number of poles. We need to like derive this one. Okay, we need to prove this one. Then only we can say the system is stable. Okay, coming to the very important part, the three cases of a Nyquist plot. I'll tell you what are the three cases of a Nyquist plot. Okay, so before going to the three cases, let me just draw an outline always, because how many times you see, okay, that many times you get it. Okay, I've taken this, and here your poles are taken in clockwise, your zeros are taken in anti-clockwise. Okay, and this is 0, obviously this infinity is minus infinity, this is infinity, and this is minus infinity. Okay, this is a normal outline which we use for drawing polar plots and Nyquist plots also. Okay, the real part comes, the first one. First case, when your poles are at origin. So if you have poles at an origin, okay, let me draw a normal thing. If I have a pole at the origin, there is a pole here. So my Nyquist contour cannot start from origin. So now how I'll draw it? So here I have to start from here because it cannot start at origin. I have to start my C1 here. As they say, C1 is on the positive imaginary axis and it always varies from 0 to plus infinity. Okay, as I told before, as I told here, C1 always varies from 0 to plus infinity. Okay, then comes our C2. I keep this aside for your understanding maybe. Then comes our C2. C definitely should be an arc and it varies from plus pi by 2 minus pi by 2 plus 90 to minus 90. So obviously this is plus 90 and this is minus 90. I already told here. Okay, so your C2 has to come like this, an exact arc, and obviously your R tends to infinity. Okay, then there is an opposite. C3 is just an opposite of C1, a mirror image. So C3, I have to stop at this place only. I cannot go till origin because I have a pole there. So this is C3. And now C1, C2, C3, as we said here, it is a closed loop. Actually it contains closed loop, but this is not closed. Then what we have to do? Then comes an interesting part. It comes and we have an extra one which is called as circlement C4. If you have pole at origin, there will be another contour. C4 will be coming. Okay, and obviously for C4 your radius will not tend to infinity, it tends to 0 because your C4 is very near to the origin. So here your C4 is R tends to 0. And this is the case which when you have poles at transfer. So whenever you get a transfer function, you have to really see whether you have poles at transfer function or so. For example, 1 plus s into 1 plus 2s. So s equal to 0. So you have a pole at an origin. Okay, you have to see about the transfer function whether you have pole at the origin or not. Okay, the second case. There are only three cases. You don't need to worry at all. There is a pole not at the origin. So there is no pole at the origin. So definitely simple. Your answer is this. From 0 I can start my C1. Okay, up to some infinity, 0 to infinity. And then we have an arc where your radius tends to 0. Oh, sorry, infinity. Okay, this is your C2. And C3 is an exact mirror image of C1. When your poles are not at origin, there is no need of a C4 here. Okay, now third case, when your poles are at origin and also at imaginary axis. So when your poles at the origin and the imaginary axis, for example, I have a pole at the origin and also at the imaginary axis, like this. How many poles are there? 5 poles. One at the origin, 0. There are 2, 3 and 4 and 5. Now how your plot will come? This is a bit we don't get these type of like questions in your BTech examinations most probably, but if you're unlucky, maybe that also will come. Okay, so my plot will start at C1. It doesn't start at origin first of all. Okay, then it takes an arc C2, it covers C3, then it takes C4. Okay, then it extends C5. As we don't have any pole, definitely it takes a big turn, which is C6, C7, C8, C9, C10. Okay, and this is how it covers. So the important thing in your Nyquist plot should not touch the pole. That was the very important part you have to understand. So these are the three cases. One is the poles at the origin. Definitely there we get 4 sections, C1, C2, C3, C4. If we don't have poles at the origin, we have 3 sections, C1, C2, C3. If we have poles at the origin and as well as on the imaginary axis, we have different sections. Okay, depending on the transfer function, you have to plot your Nyquist plot. In my next video, you will be seeing a problem on Nyquist plot. Okay, it is a big problem. Okay, you have to see the video from start to end to definitely know. And your BTech examination for your doing, it can carry 14 marks definitely. Okay, if you get 14 marks, direct 14 marks if you get, or they may give a small transfer function and they carry from 8 marks to 10 marks also. The remaining 4 marks they can go for Bode plot or a theoretical question also. But Nyquist plot is bigger and it is very easy. So be tuned and be safe. Signing off, Asha Mahi.